Hi guys. So I wanted to talk a bit about Facebook parties, online parties, um, more so for newer team members, just because I remember when I started there was a lot of, oh my God, I don't get online parties, I don't get Facebook parties, I don't understand, where do I start? Um, so I thought, so this isn't a video about how to do a party. It is a bit, but it's more about telling you about all the different types of parties that you can do. And then if you like the sound of something better than something else, then you can do some more research into that type of party that you like the sound of. Um, Online parties on Facebook are they're not a new concept, but you've probably find that a lot of people in your social circle or a lot of people in your family or any of your warm market or hot market probably are not fully aware of what actually it means to be involved in a Facebook party. So, and a big part of you being able to successfully get hosts to host a party for you is you explaining to them effectively what it is. So basically, there's a number of different ways that you can host a Facebook party, and everyone does it a bit differently. Some people have loads of success doing it one way, and some people have loads of success doing it another way. So it's up to you to find what works best for you, what you're more comfortable with, what you have more success with, and what you have the time for as well. That's an important factor when you're deciding which party to do. So basically, Facebook parties can be done on an event page. So you create a Facebook event on your page, or they can be done on a group page. So you create a group on your page. And many people are now moving towards event pages to reduce the risk of ending up in Facebook jail, because Facebook really keeping an eye on what's going on in group pages. And another reason as well is that the way Facebook works, if you're posting in a group page, if there's not been a lot of interaction, then not everyone will be notified of the post that you're posting in there. So you might have added, say, 150 people to the group page, but it will come up seen by maybe 20, 30, 50, 90, maybe even 100 and something, but it's unlikely to reach absolutely everybody unless everybody has interacted in the group somehow by posting or liking or anything like that. So at least with a group you can add everyone, but in an event page you are inviting everyone, so the people you're inviting actually have to respond and click going to receive all the notifications. So the downside of that is that you probably have less people involved on the night of the party, but the upside of that is that it's people that have decided themselves, yes, I want to be there, whereas in a group they're all added to a group and not all of them have been notified beforehand, so they've just been added to a group, they don't know what's going on, so they're not going to check it out. Whereas an event page, they have to actually click going, so they have agreed to be involved in it. And so at least if even though you've got a lower number of people there, it's people that decided for themselves, yes, I want to be involved in this. I've had quite a lot of success on group pages before, but I have decided just to try events just to see how that works for me, and so I've got my first event party tomorrow, so let's see how that goes. But certainly I think by far most people do use event pages, so it's the only one I would recommend that you do a group page for a party is for your launch party, because in a group page, when you do a launch party, you should be private messaging every single female on your friends list and telling them about the party, and then adding them all to this group page, because after your launch party, I would rename that, and if it's, say you called it Jen's launch party, after your launch party is done, then change the name of it to Jen's VIP group, and that's where I would post any specials and make sure it's secret or closed, the privacy setting on it. But that's what I would do with that after my launch party. But apart from that, groups or events, see what works for you, see what you prefer. The other difference in parties is the time that they last for. So some people do, like for me, I find what we call a live party, so a 1 hour, 2 hour party works best for me. I usually do 2 hours, and it usually goes a bit over as well, so it's usually 2 to 3 hours. And that's where I've arranged, but just through talking to the people invited, for everyone to be on Facebook at that one time. And that's called a live party. So some people do a 2 hour party, some people do a 1 hour party, and there's even a training group on how to do a 30-minute party as well. And the thing about that one is having it all prepared beforehand, having all your posts prepared beforehand, and post right on every 5 minutes posting. And doing it that way. And one of the green status presenters in the UK had a lot of success with 30-minute parties. So and the sound of them is much more appealing to hosts as well. I find the 2 hour parties that I'm posting. So and it all seems crazy because it's a big rush. So I haven't personally tried 30-minute parties yet, but it's an option for you to have a go. So there's 1 hours, there's 30-minute parties, 1 hour parties, 2 hour parties, 3 hours, whatever you decide. But there's also 10-day parties. So in a 10-day party, you would, just the same, it would be an event page or a group page, but you would be posting maybe 2 or 3 times a day in that page for 10 days, and you'd maybe, so some people do just talk about mascara for the first few days, some people do focus on one product every day. Everyone does a bit differently what they post about in each of those days. What I would say is, if you're going to do a 10-day party, I highly recommend that you do not just post about products all the time, because 10 days is a long time. You can do 7-day ones and just end the party link early, but even at 7 days, that's a long time. So you don't want people to get bored. You want to provide some kind of value for them in that party, in that event page or that group page. So by that I mean tips and tricks. Tell them a bit about why you joined Younique, and tell them a bit about the business opportunity, about becoming a host. You could just put something else in there about something non-makeup related, but still related to beauty and cosmetics maybe. But provide some kind of value in there, so you're giving provide something that you're giving the customers for nothing. Otherwise, if you talk about product 3 times a day for 10 days, no one's going to be interested, or you get very little interest, and it's a bit spammy. So and try and put videos, and I mean this for all your parties, videos as opposed to graphics, or pictures, photographs as opposed to graphics that are heavy with text, make for a far more successful party than just graphics alone. So there's a number of different ways you can do it, and you've just got to, and it's just about looking at all the different options and thinking, right, what one do I like the sound of best? So you try that one. If you have a lot of success with that, great, that's fantastic. If you don't, try something different. And that's what everyone does until they find what works best for them. So like I said, for example, I do the live parties, so I try and stick to just 2 hour live parties on a certain night. I've tried 10-day parties a couple of times, and it doesn't really suit me. Like, I prefer to just have it all in one night and then move on to my next party, start organising my next party. 10-day parties, I feel like I'm constantly posting all the time. However, some people have huge success with 10-day parties, so don't rule it out because of the sound of it being long. Have a look at it, because some people have huge success with those. So another thing is, it's important to make sure your host knows that she has to get involved and comment and like and build up excitement in the build up to the party, and if you're posting something, that she's commenting on it, that she's maybe even tagging friends in a post that she thinks would be useful for them. The more involved your host is, the better the party tends to go, because her friends get more notifications and they're like, oh, she really loves these products too, or she's excited about this, so let me take a look at actually what it is. So the more involved your host is, the better. So coaching her on what to do is really important. And there's lots of material on YouTube for coaching your hostess as well. So just to sort of summarise, parties can be in event pages or group pages that you create on your Facebook. You then add your host. If you're not the host, you add the host. Ideally, send a private message to everyone that she's inviting. And the good thing about event pages is that you can type out the message that she'll send to everyone once, and it gives you the option to send that as a private message individually to everybody she's invited. So that makes it a lot easier than if it's a group, then she has to actually send the message every time to every person. So parties can be live, or they can be ongoing over a number of days. Live parties can be 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, or the ongoing parties can be 2 days, 3 days, 7 days, 10 days, but they can't be more than 10 days. And I don't think you would want it to be. And that's about it. So have a think about which one of those you like the sound of, and then do some more research on it, and ask me for help if you need it. Ask your sponsor for help if I'm not your sponsor. And the really important thing is that you do some research on it as well, because I can tell you as much as I can, but the more research you do yourself, the better, the more you'll know about it. Anyway, so I better go and sort this child of mine out. I'll catch you all later.